It's another offseason, and that means that's a lot of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. The talk will continue. Peter King will join us coming up in a little bit. We'll talk about what are the options here for everybody involved. Teams that may be interested, Rodgers himself and the Green Bay Packers, and Jordan Love, for that matter. But Aaron Rodgers' future with the Packers, once again, is in question. But, the salary is the issue here. He signed the 3-year, $150 million extension last March. And if they trade him, the team would face a tremendous amount of dead cap space here. Yesterday, it was revealed that he's open to restructuring that deal. He made his weekly pit stop on the Pat McAfee show and had this to say about his salary.
I don't think there'd be a scenario where I'd come back and that would be the number. I think it would definitely things would have to shift.
Got it. I mean, we'll see what we just did.
Oh, yeah.
Unpeeling the onion here.
For
Why do you think that?
Well, I just don't think it's, I think there's a lot of teams because of COVID that are strapped. And you're seeing us a lot of different contracts. They're pushing more money out in deals. They're creating, certain kind of void years to allow for an easier cap hit. So there would have to be some adjustments for sure.
Now, Rodgers could stay in Green Bay and just ride off in the sunset with $100 million here. But if he's willing to adjust his contract, is that going to help the Packers and stay in Green Bay? Or I'm going to help the Packers so you can trade me someplace else? Going to be a lot of drama here. And Peter King's talked about what kind of compensation the Packers would want. If you said to me right now, I could get, and I'm going to take out any emotion here. I got to make a football decision. And let's say you're playing poker, playing blackjack. You just, no emotion. You make an educated decision. But if I'm going to keep Rodgers, then what? If I'm going to trade him, what do I want in return? What happens to Jordan Love? Do you think Jordan Love can play? Can I get 2 first-round picks for Aaron Rodgers? If you said, and I'm running the Packers, the Jets are giving me 2 first-round picks, and they're going to take Aaron Rodgers, I'd sign up for that in a second. Because I'm going to save money. I'm going to let Jordan Love have 1 year on the clock here as the starting quarterback. And I'm going to be able to maybe surround him. Okay, he's not Aaron Rodgers, but maybe he has the ability to be Brock Purdy and do some things, but surround him with a lot of talent. That would be the road I would go down here. Then I don't have to deal with anything in the offseason. We're going to be back to being a football team. Because in the last couple of years, they haven't been. It's been Aaron Rodgers and then the Green Bay Packers. I got to get back to being the Green Bay Packers. Now, Rodgers, does he want to play? How long does he want to play? If I'm trading for him, I need a 2-year commitment. Well, good luck with that. He might not sure. And then this offseason, a year from now, the Jets are going, I don't know. Are you coming back? I don't know. But I can trade him now. It'll be harder to trade him next year. And that's why if I'm the Packers, once again, take the emotion out of this. And also, if we do keep him, what are the odds we can win another Super Bowl? Because that would be factored into my decision as well. 15%, 20%, maybe even less than that. So do you want to make a move to keep him? And your window is, or the odds are 15%. 10%. I would trade him. If you said that I could get even if I got a first and a second, if I got 2 seconds, you're taking his contract. Now, the dead cap space and all of that, I'll let the capologist work through that. But as far as just a football decision, I would move on from Aaron, and I would, because Jordan Love's salary is not hurting me. Now, eventually it might. But I want to see what he can do. Unless they already know what he can do and they want to move on from both, well, then hold out and get a couple of first-round draft picks. Let Jordan Love play 1 year and then go after a quarterback. And you're going to hear all these different scenarios. Rodgers, where's he going to go? Brady going to go to the Raiders. You're going to hear Lamar Jackson, Miami Dolphins. You're going to hear Lamar Jackson, Atlanta Falcons. You're going to hear Derek Carr involved in this. Somebody's going to the Colts. Tom Brady going to the Colts. You're going to hear all of this. Jimmy Garoppolo's still in the mix. And then you got the draft picks, the quarterbacks who are coming in. How many? Probably 3 in the first 5 picks, first 7 picks. A lot of things going on. So when you say, oh, what's Carolina going to do? Are the Raiders going to get Brady? Would they rather take Jimmy G? So there's a lot of things, a lot of moving parts. And we're not talking about the teams that are in the playoffs. It feels like all this drama surrounding all these other teams searching for quarterbacks. Because if I look at what's happening in the postseason, those teams have found their quarterbacks, even Brock Purdy with the 49ers. Yeah, Paulie.
And the other thing with Aaron Rodgers, last year they was discussing trades. He was 2-time defending MVP, and he had 37 touchdowns and 4 picks. This year, he's 8-9 as a starter, 26 touchdowns, 12 picks, and was not all-pro. I mean, it makes it a lot easier to sell to the fan base, too, because it was a little bit of a dip.
If I thought that he was going to help us win a Super Bowl, then I understand bringing him back. But I don't feel that way. I think those receivers developed right in front of us, but I thought that he was late in helping them develop. And I still think they had a great running attack. They had a defense that should have been better, but seemed like it was playing well at the end of the year. But you got to win these games at home. Like that comes down to, if I got one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, then win those games. I mean, you're losing against Jimmy Garoppolo-led Niners at home. This year, win the game. Beat the Lions. You're not even getting – the Lions are getting better. Minnesota is probably a 9 or 10 win team, maybe. Maybe they're just a 9-win team. The Bears might figure this out before Rodgers retires. Maybe not.
Oh, that's funny.
Yes.
I got Super Bowl odds for next year. You're saying what are the odds for the Packers?
Yes.
The Packers right now are like 30-1 to win a Super Bowl, or plus 3,000.
Okay.
They're just a tick better odds to win a Super Bowl than the Detroit Lions. It's plus 3,500. So it's Chiefs, Bills, Niners, Eagles, Bengals, Cowboys, Chargers, Ravens, Packers. Packers are the 8th favorite to win the Super Bowl next year as of now. Like you said, they're in striking distance, but they don't feel like it's likely. Doesn't feel likely.
Well, we've just become accustomed to Rodgers, the Packers, bad division, home field advantage, and then they get to a must-win situation, and they don't win. And he's been substandard in the postseason. That's where I have to look at this and say it's a business decision. You walked away from Brett Favre, you can walk away from Aaron Rodgers. You just don't want to walk away where you go, you know what? We can win the Super Bowl. Or if we had him, we could have won the Super Bowl. I'd love to be able to start fresh. Younger roster there. And then you find out about Jordan Love. And one way or another, you'll know what you have the following season where you're like, yeah, Jordan Love balled out. Or, you know what? He's not a starting quarterback. Yes,
it does feel kind of like a perfect situation for the Packers. In a way, they're not going to be locked in long-term to the new guy, and you kind of get the old guy out on his way down.
Yeah, I just don't know how much leverage the Packers have. Now, Rodgers has a no trade, but he could easily say, I'm not going to the Jets. And then what? Or I'm not going to Carolina or the Colts, wherever you want to send him. That's where you have to have a partnership where you go, okay, this is what we need for this to happen. And Rodgers may say, I don't want to go anywhere. I'll stay. If I'm going to play, I want to stay here. I got my friends here. Got my teammates. Okay. It's tricky.